The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
As we prepare and remain vigilant amid the coronavirus pandemic, the GUT Credit Union remains committed to serving you and your family in the safest way possible. We have increased the frequency of cleaning and sanitizing all branches and ATMs throughout the day. In an effort to maintain the protocols of social distancing, we encourage you to use the ATMs to conduct simple transactions. For your protection and convenience, our officers are available to conduct business via telephone if needed. As a member, if you are facing financial challenges as a result of the pandemic, please contact us to discuss the range of flexible options available to you. More information can be obtained by calling 440-1354, emailing gutcu@spicile.com, or visiting www.gutcu.com. Together, we can successfully navigate through this time. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN television news for today, Friday, April 17th, 2020. In the headlines, 6 COVID-19 patients have recovered and have retested negative for coronavirus. Prime Minister says government will not own majority shares in Grenlec, and long lines seen for remittances. Coming up in sports, legendary West Indies cricketers debate all aspects of Windies cricket as the game is on forced hiatus due to the coronavirus. Details right after this message.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
Good evening from the GBN. I am Beverly Telesford. Police have confirmed the death of a 50-year-old resident of Coast Guard St. Mark. The body of the man was discovered on Thursday, 16th April 2020 in Waltham, St. Mark. An autopsy is pending to determine the actual cause of death. Grenada's record of 14 positive cases of COVID-19, of which one has since returned to the United Kingdom, now shows that 6 of those cases have now retested negative for the virus. The efforts of frontline workers were not forgotten as the House of Representatives was called to session. We have more in this report.
6 of Grenada's 14 recorded cases of COVID-19 are now negative for the deadly virus. Health Minister Nicholas Steele on Friday delivered the news to the state of Grenada.
Yesterday we tested 11 more individuals, or received results for 11. All 11 were negative. But Mr. Speaker, most importantly, of those 11, 6 of them were individuals who had previously tested positive. So we can most definitely declare that of the 14 individuals who tested positive in the state of Grenada, 6 of them have officially recovered.
Government ministers also paid respect to frontline workers who continue to be the country's first line of contact with people battling the COVID-19. Taking the lead was Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell during Friday's sitting of the House of Representatives.
She owes a great debt to our essential workers like that of our healthcare practitioners, those who have come forward in this time. Not all have done it, but those who have come forward, we owe them enormous amount. We cannot pay them for their sacrifices. And all other categories of workers, Mr. Speaker, who are so classified, that wake up every morning to ensure that this country is healthy and safe.
The country's sanitation workers were also recognized.
Mr. Speaker, this country has remained clean. This is a period, colleagues, that everybody is afraid to be outside. But the garbage collectors, we need to give a lot of praise. And as I pass them, they wave and shout to me as if they're so proud to be out there masked appropriately. But it's still a dangerous exercise.
Government's budget in the stimulus package, $10 million for the Ministry of Health to secure protective equipment for frontline workers, additional testing materials, and other items necessary. Christelina John, GBN News.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says government will not own majority shares in Grenada Electricity Services Limited, Grenlec. Addressing the sitting of the Lower House of Representatives on Friday, Prime Minister Mitchell, for the first time since the March judgment from the International Tribunal against WRB, the major shareholders of Grenlec, publicly addressed the matter in depth. The details in this report.
Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Dr. Keith Mitchell says the majority of shares at Grenlec will be distributed to local businesses and individuals. That was one of the statements the nation's leader made during the sitting of the Lower House of Representatives on Friday. In his explanation about the 30% reduction in rates consumers are promised as part of the COVID-19 stimulus package. The promised payment of the 30% is for a 3-month period.
So if government has to, as the act or the decision has said, take control, this would be for a temporary period. Let me make it clear. Temporary period. We hope to give out shares to business persons in this country or private sector persons because we believe Grenlec is in fact a very profitable business. So anybody investing in Grenlec will do well.
The Prime Minister maintains that the present price in electricity is a burden to consumers. He maintains that government has no interest in owning the country's lone electricity company.
I have supported liberalization and of many of these institutions as a member of parliament while in opposition, as a member of another government time as an ordinary member. I supported the formation of government entities, moving them away from direct government control. So I have a fundamental philosophical approach to letting private sector people run business activities.
During a meeting of the Finance Committee on Wednesday, $3 million was allocated for Grenlec. The Prime Minister's response comes after opposition leader Tobias Clement promised he will not allow the issue to go by silently. The government of Grenada sought to repurchase 50% shares owned by WRB. The matter was brought before the International Tribunal last month, which ruled against the government of Grenada. Cherry Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Dr. Keith Mitchell says that based on the number of applications received, government will contribute 40% of workers' salary. For the businesses that qualify for government salary support, it may not be an immediate disbursement of monies as explained.
We expect the business community, the business involved, would also have to make its contribution. That is, paying workers for holidays. In other words, the unions will have to be involved in that process because everybody has to make sacrifice. And leave that workers earned would expect it to be paid before government chips in with its contribution for those workers. In other words, some hotels staff might be supported by government maybe in the 2nd month. Some may even be the 3rd month, not necessarily from the 1st month, Mr. Speaker, based on what the workers in that business is entitled to as far as these are concerned that they earned.
He said the expenditure for assisting self-employed workers is $20 million. One of the challenges, he says, is getting workers such as tourist vendors to put together proper data. For the other self-employed or small business owners, special loans arrangements were outlined.
Financing facility at the small business section of the Grenada Development Bank by $5 million on the following conditions. Unsecured loans now is up to $7,000. Persons can now apply for unsecured loan without the kind of security required normally. up to $10,000. The maximum amount accessible under this fund used to be $25,000. We're now raising it up to $40,000. Reduction in interest rate. Interest rate used to be 6%. It will now be 3% for the development and expansion in key sectors. This, Mr. Speaker, is geared at supporting the small business owner, be it a hairdresser, a barber, nail technician, a farmer, fisherman, or clothing store, to obtain funds to help support the families during this time.
The St. George's Farmers Market at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium car park by the early afternoon on Friday had already begun to resemble a ghost town. According to Ministry of Agriculture officials, there were 13 vendors plying their trade during the morning period, with most having sold all their produce and returned home. It was a drastic increase from the estimated 4 vendors on Thursday, and when the GBN crew finally made its rounds to the market, only 3 vendors were present from the hustle and bustle reported on Friday morning. Jared Joseph has the details.
As vendors wrapped up an apparent busy day at the St. George's Farmers Market, all were reporting an increased influx of vendors and customers.
My day was fairly productive. I had a very good response from the shoppers that come to buy the local fresh produce. As I will repeat, I had some cabbages, I had some mangoes, some other stuff, and as you notice that it's all complete. So I will say thanks for allowing the vendors to come out, regardless to the amount they have. Here we get a good response.
With the promise to return on Saturday, most vendors had already sold all their produce, however, not without several challenges.
My only disadvantage is I have no public transport. So basically, I had to kind of hitchhike, but I got through by God's grace. So I'm hoping that as time goes by, the public transport will be able to make things easier for us.
Well, before was much better than now. Slower, sales are a little slower than before. Can't complain still, what are you going to do? Sure go. And you are selling right? Yeah. Yeah.
One vendor, Livingston Nelson, believes the priorities were not set in the correct order, whereby perishable goods should have been given first preference.
And I think we miss a good opportunity to signal, because this just reminds me and a lot of other persons, Ivan, to signal to the farmers, to signal to persons that involve in local industry in Grenada, that the government really care about developing Grenada and the product that we make in Grenada. And I don't believe that persons that have vision would take and concentrate on allowing the goods that are not perishable to sell first and leaving the watermelons and the tomatoes and other things in the field to rotten.
He is of the opinion that Grenada does not produce enough to feed itself for 2 weeks without banking on imported products from other countries. Most serious consideration, he says, should have been given to farmers and local producers of eggs and fish.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Basically, a lot of farmers cry out, tomatoes rotten, cucumbers spoil, have to be thrown and fed to pigs, watermelon spoil, the time period, because the time frame between maturity and sale is very small. And so a lot of farmers has occurred a lot of losses, all because of the way the government and the authorities handle the way they deal with this pandemic situation.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
We take a break, but still to come, Tourism Minister clears the air on American flights to Grenada and outstanding taxes to be paid to boost government revenues during COVID-19 crisis. This is News at 7. Stay with us.
One bad vibe and I'm out this. No, you can't stop this. We're out to get it with Lucas and day and night. Yeah, we're on this. I know you want this. Come on and taste the energy. Day and night, live your Lucas life. Live your Lucas life. Come taste the energy.
Good vibes only. Lucasade. Taste the energy.
A new home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 70 channels and 12 in HD. All for $200 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Republic Bank assures all personal, small business, commercial, and corporate banking customers of our continued support during these uncertain times. We have extended a moratorium on all loans, including mortgages and student loans, for up to 6 months. However, there is an option to opt out of this arrangement only upon request. Late fees on credit cards, loan repayments, and overdrawn accounts are being waived, as well as penalties for early withdrawals of certificate of deposit accounts. These measures will be in place for 6 months. To opt out of the moratorium, please email us at customercare@republicgrenada.com by April 30th, 2020.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Use Telesford. It washing cleaner than ever. Oh mama, oi. Oh mama, oi. In every household must have it, oi. Highly effective. Stain removal, lemon freshness. Antibacterial washing powder. Fresh and clean. Fresh and clean. When I put on me clothes, me must win. When I wash me clothes, no other detergent could ever wash me clothes like this.
Now buy 3 bottles of Clay's dishwashing liquid for only $8. Available at Best for Less Supermarket, Eat Fresh Supermarket, M&C Jones Supermarket, Hope Pride Supermarket, The Food Fairs, Carenage and Grandans, Roberts Enterprise, Springs Food Mart, and Charlo Supermarket.
Other Clay's products available: hand sanitizer, fabric softener, hand washing liquid, dishwashing liquid, and toilet cleaners. Distributed by Fortune Foods Company Limited, Tempe St. George.
Hills and Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sonatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible, I can pack my sack, I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Together there's no limit to what we can do. Rise with no wings, fly. Rise and we're so high, enjoy the view. Rise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
An important notice from the Caribbean Agro Industries Limited. Caribbean Agro Industries Limited will be open Saturday, April 18th, 2020 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to service customers who wish to purchase flour and animal feed.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Republic Bank assures all personal, small business, commercial, and corporate banking customers of our continued support during these uncertain times. We have extended a moratorium on all loans, including mortgages and student loans, for up to 6 months. However, there is an option to opt out of this arrangement only upon request. Late fees on credit cards, loan repayments, and overdrawn accounts are being waived, as well as penalties for early withdrawals of certificate of deposit accounts. These measures will be in place for 6 months. To opt out of the moratorium, please email us at customercare@republicgrenada.com by April 30th, 2020.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to News at 7. Civil Aviation Minister Clarisse Modis-Kerwin in today's Parliament sitting said to date Grenada's ports of entry remain closed, including the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Currently, authorities at the MBIA only permit entry for flights carrying necessary supplies and flights requested by airlines and other governments to repatriate their citizens. Her message follows a recent news article stating that flights from American Airlines to MBIA will resume early next month.
We respect and we have great confidence in our partners, in the airlines and in other entities, but they operate on their own. They make decisions for themselves, but they do not make decisions for our country. And so there was something put out, a scheduling put out by a particular airline, and that went viral.
The minister is assuring citizens of Grenada that their safety remains the priority of the government.
I just want to assure our nation that no decision has been taken in that regard. Yes, a schedule was sent, and it has been publicized, and the airline has its prerogative to do that. But up till this time, we do not see that we are ready to open our borders until we are satisfied that the safety of our people, we can secure that safety, the health of our people. Then our borders regrettably will remain closed. This is affecting our industry, this is affecting the economy of our country, but nevertheless, the health of our people come first.
Private sector Senator Chris Diali is concerned that dwindling remittances, the fear of the unknown, and decreased revenue generation could have played a major factor in increasing the $50 million allocation in response to COVID-19. Senator Diali says as they look to suspend the fiscal responsibility legislation, more should be given in the face of the unknown, as reports from international organizations appear to portray a bleak future.
The projections from the Ministry of Finance is that in 2021, we will start to see some normalizing, and that we will have very small growth in terms of GDP, and we'll move from a contracting situation to one where we could come back to some level of growth. Excellent in terms of my view of being positive, but I am of the view that that may not happen as we would like it to be because of how difficult this world is going to be. And you know, Mr. President, it's not so much Grenada, but what is happening outside of Grenada economically. So take, for example, transfers. A simple thing as remittances coming to these countries and how important it plays in the economy of our countries. I don't see remittances coming at the level that it was prior to COVID. And the reason I say that is that the unemployment figure in the major developed countries that we know traditionally, the US, England, and so on, is at a phenomenal rate. Phenomenal, never ever seen before. And our diaspora, unfortunately, caught in that. So if a remittance used to come to the average family here of 100 US a month or a week, trust me, that is going to reduce to almost zero with this situation. And that is what.
Meanwhile, he believes the allocation to NIS should triple and the allocation should be $100 million as a better buffer with the focus on the people.
I say, when I talk about this package, we must take an err on the higher side than on the lower side so that we reduce the possibility of the unknown and try to mitigate it so that people know in their minds that if they get an income support, it's not going to dry up in 2 months or 3 months. It could be longer than that. So how do we do it in this limited, and what we have proposed here, the details here, 20 million for tourism, 5 million for, I know at one time we had proposed 10 million to go with NIS to help for other business and income support. I'm not seeing that yet. The leader of government business probably could correct me if that is so. But even though we said we want to put 10 million in NIS, I think we should triple that. It should be 30 million to NIS for income support for business people and for rural people and so on who are registered with NIS that come to NIS and apply for support, for income support, and at whatever level we give it. So, Mr. President, I welcome the 50 million, but I believe we are making a mistake in the sense that we have not asked for more.
Meanwhile, the long lines to the various supermarket chains have now dried up, despite the allocated shopping days. Supermarkets and shops witnessed from Thursday a reduction in the number of customers, with Grenadians instead moving to take advantage of the 2 days granted for the opening of financial institutions. Crowding in front of banks, some credit unions, and other institutions such as MoneyGram and Western Union were recorded on Thursday. However, on Friday, a different picture was painted. More in this report.
The need for food is no longer the only main priority for many citizens, as being cash-strapped and unable to have the purchasing power is becoming the new norm. Long lines to the 2 branches of Western Union in St. George's have been the highlight of the 2 days, initially given as banking days. The MoneyGram office within Foodland Market Square dominated the 2 lines going into the supermarket. According to Prime Minister Dr. Kit Mitchell on Friday, during the sitting of the House of Representatives, hundreds of applications by companies and individuals have been made for financial relief to government.
Taxi operators were not that difficult either. Most of them are associated with some body official union. Bus owners also will be supported, but the monies must go specifically also to pay the driver and hopefully conductors and other hospitality-related services. Special consideration is also given to the market vendors for the period of disruption during the state of emergency. Hopefully, based on what the Ministry of Health would be advising, as this ends, then of course the market vendors will be able to earn their livelihood as usual. So we don't expect this would be a monthly support. It most likely be a one-off support that they will be getting.
The Prime Minister says that government will not be able to pay the full amount of salaries, neither for more than a period of 3 months, where NIS will also be involved. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Grenadians are once more being called on to make sacrifices as the country reels economically under the unexpected pressure of COVID-19. The financial impact was highlighted in Parliament on Friday, as we hear in this report.
Grenadian taxpayers are being encouraged to pay their taxes as the money is needed to continue paying the salary of public officers. This was one of the pleas coming from Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. Keith Mitchell, during his presentation at the sitting of the House of Representatives on Friday to debate and pass the stimulus package presented by government to cushion the impact of COVID-19 coronavirus.
Even revenue that people collected for the government, they're asking whether they can hold it back. No, if you don't pay what the government normally gets and you collect for the government, not some tax that's corporate income tax, then if you don't pay it, then where is the government going to get money? In an economy where the taxation on income is very limited or almost non-existent, if the VAT is not paid, then where is government going to get the money to meet the payroll of $22 million in 3 months will be $66 million and counting?
He said the revenue from taxes is also needed to support much-needed social programs. Prime Minister Mitchell said that the money collected at customs are less than $5 million and approximately $8 million from inland revenue, significantly lower in comparison to monthly collections. He said already government has collected hundreds of applications for income support.
We have received applicants from 268 businesses. I assume that some still will be coming through in the next few days for payroll support, and 875 individuals applying for income support. That's the status of where we are. That includes, of course, the bus drivers and owners and so on. Mr. Speaker, I must make this point. The government is unable to pay full salaries of those workers and should not be expected to do so. It is our expectation, therefore, that in the business, the NIS contribution would also, with the workers, would be part of this process.
The Prime Minister said that not all businesses will receive salary support, as some will be exposed to small loans.
People like the hairdressers, barbers, and so on, they're not required to have major staffs, so they would be able to benefit from the small business loan, which conditions would be lower than the present condition for qualifying for those loans, and they can use it to meet some payroll support also to the staff. The objective is to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that workers are given some income during this time.
Businesses in a position to assist its workers are being asked to do so, with a caution that all requests for government support will be evaluated to determine the immediate financial standing of the entities. Cherian Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Now today is observed as World Hemophilia Day. This can be described as a hereditary bleeding disorder. It occurs in persons whose body does not have the ability to clot blood. More on this disorder in this week's GBN Health complements Gittins Healthcare.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Brandon, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Due to the sex linkage of the disorder, the prominence amongst male is greater than that of females. Although females can be carriers of the affected gene and may experience symptoms, the disorder affects 1 in 5,000 males. Dr. Nixon explains that it takes an X chromosome from both parents to be full-blown hemophilic.
Hemophilia is a disease that has to do with clotting. Okay? It's a deficiency in a person's ability to clot. And it's manifested only in the male gender. Because the gene that controls that controls clotting come on the X chromosome. May have bleeding with the slightest injury. Bleeding that is unstoppable because there are several proteins in the blood that help through the whole clotting complex. And clotting is a very complicated event.
Since this disorder is inherited and there is no cure, she recommends that people exercise caution and avoid getting bruises or cuts, which will tend to bleed non-stop.
For the most part, hemophiliacs know what their problem is. They have to make sure that they keep their blood count high. They take some vitamins, but basically it's a genetic thing. You can't really change it. If you know there are other males in your family in other generations who have had, it is wise that mothers check their children, when they're born, to say, my brother has had hemophilia, or my cousins have hemophilia.
The theme for World Hemophilia Day 2020 is Get Involved. It is a call for action for parents, family members, caregivers, corporate partners, hemophilia treatment centers, volunteers, and anyone who support. Christina John, GBN News.
Still ahead, Jamaican reporters free to operate after Prime Minister Holness rescinds order. Stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Remember to wash your hands to stop the coronavirus. Finish.
This message is brought to you by Mount Pure Mineral Water, silver medalist in the 2020 Berkeley Springs International Water Tasting Competition.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load. With tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. Can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. A telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Use clay, it washing cleaner than ever. Oh mama, oi, oh mama, oi. In every household, must have it, oi. Highly effective, stain removal, lemon freshness, antibacterial washing powder. Fresh and clean, fresh and clean. When I put on me clothes, me must sweet. When I wash me clothes, no other detergent could ever wash me clothes like this.
Now buy 3 bottles of Clay's dishwashing liquid for only $8. Available at Best for Less Supermarket, Eat Fresh Supermarket, M&C Jones Supermarket, Hope Pride Supermarket, The Food Fairs, Carenage and Grandance, Roberts Enterprise, Springs Food Mart, and Charlo's Supermarket.
Other Clay's products available: hand sanitizer, fabric softener, hand washing liquid, dishwashing liquid, and toilet cleaners. Distributed by Fortune Foods Company Limited, Tempe St. George.
Republic Bank assures all personal, small business, commercial, and corporate banking customers of our continued support during these uncertain times. We have extended a moratorium on all loans, including mortgages and student loans, for up to 6 months. However, there is an option to opt out of this arrangement only upon request. Late fees on credit cards, loan repayments, and overdrawn accounts are being waived, as well as penalties for early withdrawals of certificate of deposit accounts. These measures will be in place for 6 months. To opt out of the moratorium, please email us at customercare@republicgrenada.com by April 30th, 2020.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Ofio.com. Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carenage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
The Jamaican government has withdrawn statements made in Parliament on Wednesday prohibiting the free execution of duties by members of the media fraternity during the lockdown period. Chrislina John has the details.
The announcement of times journalists in St. Catherine, Jamaica can operate during the lockdown was made by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in Parliament.
Persons who are employed to the media, such as journalists, television or radio presenters, camera operators, announcers, engineers, technicians, and newspaper delivery personnel between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. On Wednesday, that is today would be one of those days, the 15th day of April 2020, and between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. on Saturday, Wednesday the 18th. So the media is allowed to move freely on the restocking days. On the no movement days, nobody's permitted.
The Press Association of Jamaica, along with other media houses on the island, lashed out at government, calling on them to rescind the order with immediate effect. Grenada Broadcasting Network reached out to its regional counterparts on Friday. Speaking to Milton Walker, who told us they had never stopped working, he says their actions were heeded.
They did say that. He said it in Parliament, we protested, and the Prime Minister rescinded. Argument done. He rescinded yesterday evening. We always were. We never did stop. But when we saw that, we were a little alarmed.
According to a press release, Prime Minister Holness responded to media concerns about the restrictions on journalists during the lockdown in St. Catherine. Prime Minister Holness says the final gazette will reflect that journalists will remain exempted during the period of lockdown in the parish of St. Catherine. The media, however, are expected to follow established protocols to protect the identity and privacy of people affected by COVID-19 virus, as well as the health workers conducting contact tracing, investigations and testing. Mr. Holness noted that all citizens, including media personnel, should observe all the guidelines and orders to ensure their personal safety and the safety of others. The Press Association of Jamaica, along with news editors and executives, say that while media workers will adhere to lawful instructions from the security forces and will take all necessary steps to protect themselves, given the contagious nature of COVID-19, it is vital in the public's interest that they be allowed to continue reporting on the pandemic. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Now, GBN continues to track the development of COVID-19 on all levels. Cherry and Blackman Stephen brings today's private take on the coronavirus.
It's almost 1 month since the Grenada government implemented a limited state of emergency as a precaution against the spread of COVID-19 coronavirus. It was on March 22nd that the first case of COVID-19, an imported case from the United Kingdom, was recorded. 4 days later, 6 more cases were confirmed. To date, the figures stand at 14. 1 case has since returned to the UK. With the lockdown enforced and a mandatory curfew imposed, this brings change to basic ways of life in Grenada. Businesses were forced to close and people ordered to stay at home. No more visiting friends, no more liming day or night. And as anticipated, this brings frustration and mental anguish to some who enjoy their freedom. With children at home full-time, parents worry about having enough to feed them. With the limited time given for shopping, the concerns and complaints are never ending. The streets become eerily quiet, and when given a break to get out to get much-needed supplies, there are long lines, and in many instances, clusters of gathering. Physical or social distancing is forgotten. This way of life is the new normal that COVID-19 has precariously placed on us. Not just in Grenada, but throughout the world. It is at this juncture when the best and worst of humanity are revealed. The world is at a crossroads. Every country is busy trying to help its people. All forms of what was normal have become unusual. As a people, we are forced to cage ourselves at home as a means of protection against an enemy the naked eyes cannot see, while animals roam free. Talk about the turn of the tables. There is no timeline in sight as COVID-19 sets its own precedent. How long before the return to normalcy is the million-dollar question. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Stay tuned now for this evening's ISA, compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's ISA features video footage of local entertainer Hollis Mr. Killer Map, along with his colleague Valda, donating food and necessary supplies to some people in need. The 7-minute video was uploaded to the artist's Facebook page and began with the quoted scripture, Proverbs 28. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. You can continue to send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms. Stay with us. The weather and sports is up next.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis Mr. Killer Map, and I endorse this message.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
It's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. The festive season is over, so let's start 2020 looking and feeling like a boss with our many body cleansing options. Purchase detox products as low as $50. Purchase detox combo packs as low as $100. Receive 10% off on all in-house colonic irrigation treatment. Take control of your health now. Don't delay. Call us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. We are located in Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. These offers are valid from January to March or while stocks last. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. Detox your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief early morning showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. Tides low at 6:45 p.m. and high at 1 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow 5:55. Weather tomorrow, Saturday, April 18th, generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief morning showers possible. Weather for Sunday, April 19th, generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief showers. And weather for Monday, April 20th, partly cloudy to cloudy at times and breezy with some brief showers. Your sports news is up next. Good evening, sporting fans. For the West Indies to be a consistently competitive force in world cricket, it must revive the culture that helped create the juggernaut that dominated world cricket for 15 years, says former captain Sir Richie Richardson. Incidentally, he was captain when the West Indies relinquished the Frank Worrell Trophy to Australia in 1995, which many believe triggered the start of the decline in fortunes of the West Indies. Speaking on Mason and Guest in Barbados on Tuesday, Sir Richardson said the West Indies and the region needed to recapture some of that old magic. Sir Richardson says that we have to find a way to recreate a strong cricketing culture, and it's going to take a concerted effort by the entire region. He believes that the West Indies Cricket Board has that responsibility to put that structure in place and work with all the other stakeholders. Meanwhile, West Indies fast bowling legend Curtly Ambrose believes battling icon Brian Lara was in too much of a rush to claim the post of team captain, going on to find the task tougher than he expected. Having previously played under another bowling great, Courtney Walsh, Lara officially took charge of the West Indies team for the 1997-98 England tour of the Caribbean. The move was not without some controversy at the time, as some felt the then 28-year-old had been instrumental in forcing Walsh out of the post. Ambrose seemed to have been among them. Walsh had taken over the post from Richie Richardson for the 1994-1995 West Indies Tour of India. While in charge, the bowler went on to lead the team for 22 test matches with a record of 6 wins, 7 losses and 9 draws. In one-day internationals, where he led the team 43 times, the West Indies won 22, lost 20, with 1 no result. Lara oversaw the team for 47 test matches, where they won 10, lost 26 and drew 11. The ODIs he captained for 125 matches, winning 59, losing 59 with 7 no results. That's it for sports. The probe around the globe is up next. Now for the probe around the globe for today. The government of Jamaica has requested access to the International Monetary Fund's rapid financing instrument in the wake of the global lockdown. This was disclosed by Minister for Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, while speaking on TVJ.
Jamaica is requesting access to the RFI from a position of strength. We have macroeconomic stability. We have a very large pool of reserves. We have lots of financing options. The purpose of accessing this RFI, and just to be clear, if we weren't going from a position of strength, we wouldn't be going for an RFI. We would have to go for another instrument that is geared towards countries in serious trouble. The purpose of doing this at this time is to just make sure we are prepared. You know, I give you the analogy of a hurricane that you see gathering in the Eastern Caribbean. You don't know if it's going to come and hit you directly, but even when you see it in the Eastern Caribbean, you go to the supermarket, you get a tin of bully beef, you get some tin of condensed milk and flour and cornmeal, and you stock up. But that's a metaphor for what we're doing here.
The RFI provides rapid financing to IMF member countries with a balance of payment needs, but without the requirement of having a full-fledged IMF program, ongoing reviews and conditionality. In Barbados, there is a growing fear among students of the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus, as the dates for assessments draw near. Several concerned students expressed their anxiety to Barbados Today News about the inability for some of them to study at home due to noise and other limitations, including a lack of consistent internet connection and computer access, and limited access to library material required to complete tasks. They also complained about a pileup of assignments, uncertainty around how exactly they would be assessed, and fear that they could be barred from the online classes if fees were not paid in full. However, in a statement from the principal, Professor Eugene Barito, issued through the Office of Communications, the university gave the assurance that the students' concerns were taken into consideration. Barito said even before online teaching started, students were being allowed to access the online platform, and they have been given the assurance repeatedly that they would not be blocked. Protests against lockdown measures are growing across the U.S., even as the number of infections and deaths continue to rise. The demonstrations have occurred in Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, Minnesota, Utah, Virginia, and Kentucky. Protesters say the severe economic restrictions are hurting citizens, but health officials warn lifting them could spread infection. On Friday, the president appeared to endorse some of the protests. President Donald Trump tweeted in all capital letters the slogans of several protests, but did not further comment. The states he referenced are all led by Democrats. The Chinese city of Wuhan, where the coronavirus originated last year, has raised its official COVID-19 death toll by 50%, adding 1,290 fatalities. Wuhan officials attributed the new figure to updated reporting and deaths outside hospitals. China has insisted there was no cover-up. It has been accused of downplaying the severity of the virus outbreak. The latest official figures bring the death toll in the city in China's central Hubei province to 3,869, increasing the national total to more than 4,600. That's it for the probe around the globe. When we return, a recap of the major stories. Recapping the headlines, 6 COVID-19 patients have recovered and have retested negative for the coronavirus. Prime Minister says government will not own majority shares in Grenlec. Long lines seen for remittances. And in sports, legendary West Indies cricketers debate all aspects of Windies cricket as the game is on forced hiatus due to the coronavirus. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford. That's news. See you again.